Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are with Quintessence last, our level 19 brute, who has 114,000 experience, 12,000 to go to get to level 20 and our next superpower, and 935,000 influence, which is more than enough to get all the enhancements we need for single origin at level 22. But we have a long way to go, and we are on a story arc, and it turns out we do have the Vajjalok sickness. It just took talking to the contact to get it to happen. I'm sorry to say this, but you've been infected with the Vajjalok virus. Now, I don't want you to panic. It's at a very early stage. I'm already hard at work at the serum. If you could take these disease samples to Professor St. John Smythe for final processing, I'm sure he could give you a shot right away. But, of course, his lab is going to be smacked around by Vajjaloks. So one of the things we need to do is probably get some more endurance. Let's see if Habashi will give us some. I'm not sure if he will, but we'll try talking to him. Nope. Alright, well... where's the hospital? Let's hit the hospital. We're going to grab some extra endurance. Alright, it's right here, so we'll just grab some extra endurance before we get started, because I know we have endurance problems when we have this disease, right? It is minus recovery rate, minus regen rate, minus hit points, minus endurance. So we're at like 80 endurance now, I think. Right, instead of 100. Yeah. So that's the biggest problem, is endurance when you have this disease. So we're going to go ahead and grab more of that. We'll grab a luck. And we'll grab another insight. I think this is okay. I don't think we fight any heavyweights in this. It's just really hard because you don't have... the endurance to run all your toggles and run all your attacks. So, I hope you guys have been enjoying this playthrough. I've been having a lot of fun. I absolutely love the Brood. I like Dark Melee. I'm still sort of bummed that we don't get a build-up with it, but we get a lot of other utility with it, so I guess it's fine. The main problem is that not the lack of damage from the build-up, but the lack of accuracy. So thank goodness our labs are under attack by the Vajjalok. So we can't rescue you until... we can't, like, cure you until you save our lab. Alright, so whoops. So we'll go and... save the lab. So this is Steel Canyon, so we'll just head over to the train station, and I don't know if we're going north or south, so we will, I finally hit that statue, I always miss it. We'll go south, and then if it's north, we'll just take the train back to the north side. Simple enough. Wow, another long load time. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's my connection or what. Alright, it's close enough, so we'll head over. Gosh, I love Super Jump. It's so awesome. It's just so cool. And as you level up, it just gets better and better. And you go farther and farther, and you start putting single origins on it, and it's just awesome. Love it. Okay, so now we gotta fight the Vajjalok in the lab. And keep an eye on our endurance. Because we're stuck with the wasting disease, and you can see there are like little bugs and insects swarming around me because I'm starting to decay. So this is gonna be rough, because taking out 4 of them is gonna drain our endurance, but we'll do the best we can. Wow. endurance regeneration from dark consumption. Whew. That was rough. I probably should have pulled there. Well, I definitely should have pulled there. But we're alright, we made it. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a constant buzzing. Oh, I'm sure you can hear it. The sound is too loud. Let me lower that. Okay, so I apologize for that, but we should be okay now because I've managed to lower the sound. I had it up because I was recording some tutorials for my class, and I was showing the students how to go to a website that gives you bird calls, so you can identify birds by their sound, and I had the sound up so they could hear the bird calls on the recording, and I forgot about it. Fortunately, I caught it early, so I don't think it was too much of a problem, so we don't have to try to re-record or anything. So we need to find patient 0 and rescue 3 scientists. Look, this guy's coming right through the floor. That's hilarious. Okay, so I am going to go up the side here, because we're definitely going to have to pull if these guys are all yellows. There's simply no question at this point with our health and endurance, both recovery and the amount being reduced. We cannot just fight everybody at once. See if we can shoot this guy and just kill him. Oh, is that Reaper paying attention to me? This is going to be very slow if we have to do it like this. Oh, I'm shooting the wrong guy. Okay. Fortunately, the other guys are stupid. Their little gate is very funny. Okay, that knocked him off. By the time he comes back, we should be able to finish these two. Of course, we gotta hit first. There's that guy. So we can take care of him next. As you can see now, we need the endurance. That helps. Ah, missed him. Alright, I'm gonna have to go down and fight him because he won't be able to come up. Where'd he go? He did come up. Let's see if we can shoot him. He's still alive. My gosh. What a pain. There we go. Alright, let's take this Reaper out. I'm just trying not to deal with the blow-up guy, right? The bombed. Trying to let him kill himself because I just don't have the endurance to beat up that many guys. Wow. He just does so much damage. They're just brutal. And of course, it doesn't help that our hit points are minus 76 hit points, so we have a lot less hit points too. We have 500 and basically like 500 instead of 600. Is there anybody in here? There is not. Okay, let's see if we can pull this Reaper. Did I separate them? Kind of. That knocked him down, that's good. There we go. So one of the tricks here is to just separate them so that they're not on the same level, and then by the time the embalms and the abominations get to you, by the time they get to you, the other guy's dead. Now, where is the last guy? There he is. He's completely confused. Alright. That takes care of that. Oh, that's come back the way we came, I think. Oh no, this is a different room here. But there's nobody in there. And of course, while you're like under the influence of this disease, they give you a super long 5-level mission too, so that they can make you endure it for as long as possible, which is fine. If you know what to expect, it's fine. You know, it's challenging, but you know what to expect. If you don't know what to expect, the first time I did this in live, I was just killed repeatedly because I didn't even realize what it was doing to me. I'm not sure that these little tooltips, I don't think they were even available to see. Like, you could see the little icons, but I don't think you could hover over them and see what they did. Alright, we're going to have to pull because there are just too many of them. I really hate pulling as a scrapper, but I hate it even more as a brute. I want to go in there and attack, but they're just too deadly. They hit a lot, and our endurance just can't hold up to fighting 4 of them at once. So there is one elevator and another elevator. So my guess is there are 2 more levels. That's usually the way this goes. Alright, while he's getting back up, we should be able to take this guy out. Alright, so now we should be alright. Because this guy's not paying attention to us. There we go. Now we can heal ourselves up. We do have the little baby clockworks that we can use as a distraction. They don't do any damage, really, but they do distract the enemy. Okay, so this is going to be a large level, so you can just sort of tell from the map, from how much space there is on it. Okay, we'll try to pull again, I guess. Here it would be more useful to have taunt, because that knockback kind of doesn't, like, makes it harder to pull them, especially the Vajjalok. It's not so bad for other things, but the Vajjalok just are stupid. You know what? Let me try the Trank Dart. Let's try that instead. That will allow me to pull more. get out of here. Man, they are just brutal. Alright, let's rest. So one of the problems with that Nemesis staff is it does good damage, but it knocks them back. They go back far enough that when they get up, they walk back to the spawn, and then they forget you shot them, so it's hard to pull. So it'll be easier to pull with a trank dart, because he's not going to go anywhere and he'll just follow me. Right? And it also regenerates faster, it re-ups faster, so if I want to use it again, I can. So you can see already that's a much better pull than what we've been doing. Alright, all you need to do is peel them out a little bit, because the other guys are really stupid. There we go. That's what you're supposed to do when you pull. The Nemesis staff does much better damage, but it's just not as good of a pulling device for these guys. Now, you can use it for other things like against, you know, Cray or something, because the knockback doesn't matter and they'll come after you. But the ones that are stupid like the Vajaloks, you really can't, because they'll forget to come after you. And then you got to repull, and it's a very slow recharge, so it does more damage, but it's really less worth it. So we're going to go ahead and use the trank darts instead. We're not really using Nemesis staff to do damage anymore because we have enough damage in our main attacks. So what we really want to do is just pull. Right, and then we just want to get this guy killed before the Reaper comes over, if we can. Look at this. 2 hits, and my hit points are down to half. Gosh. Just absolutely brutal, this mission. Look at that one shot. That's because it was a cadaver, and it was a Grey Con and not an embalmed abomination. We still have to find 3 scientists. And I think one of them is going to have the cure, probably the last one. I really do enjoy Dark Melee's animations and sound. Very cool. Okay, now we can go in, I think. There we go, hit 2 guys at once. And then heal up. And we need some more endurance. Alright, we're going to hit the Reaper. And there's one of the scientists. So that's 1. Let's try and get some endurance from these guys. There we go. That's nice. Too bad that thing's not on a faster recharge yet. Alright, let's start peeling these guys out of the group. One at a time. That's 1. 2. It's definitely the case that the Vajaloks come in spawns usually of 4 rather than 3. And I think the reason is that the devs just said, well, since they're so stupid, there should be more of them. Which under many circumstances works fine. But when you've got this disease, it's rough. One more guy. And then we should be able to go in against those 2 with no problem. And I believe that finishes out this level. Oh darn, I was trying to catch him in the radius, but I didn't. The Reaper. Okay, that's 1 scientist. 2 to go. Is there anybody else in this room? Doesn't look like it. Do we also have minus run speed on this? No, I'm just slow. I'm used to quickness. I might want to slot Swift, because I really don't like turning on Sprint. It's a huge endurance drain. And, it's a huge endurance drain, and I also don't like that it always leaves this, like, smoke trail behind your character. You can probably turn that off. But I don't like having Sprint on. I'm just so used to, like, not using it, but being fast enough without it. This character's not going to have quickness, so I guess I'm going to need to add some more enhancements to stamina. Alright, let's do our Trank Dart pull. Right, and one of the tricks to this is... What? Did he stop? Oh no. To hide behind something structural, so that he's got to come to you to be able to do damage. That's not good. I'm gonna have to take that inspiration. Alright. Good deal. You can see we're starting to run out of endurance inspirations. We started with 3. We only have 1 left. Is this going to be all empty? Yeah. Okay. So all that's left is to go this way. This must be a large area, because we still have to find 2 guys. Sounds like the boss is in there. We might be okay. Did he just call me meat? He did. I have no meat for you. I am dark energy. You will be wiped out. And there is a Reaper. So what do we got in here? No boss yet? I thought I heard the boss in here. Well, we can pull these guys out. Fortunately, with the abominations, you don't have to pull them that far, because these guys are just not going to aggro this far away. Giving us tons of experience because of all these yellow cons. Missed. Oh, good. We got another endurance. We need that right now. Let's finish these guys off. Another miss. Another miss. That is just absolutely deadly against abominations. Just having to stand in there more and get pounded by them more. Okay, time to rest again. We're coming close, guys. I think there are probably only 1 or 2 more rooms down here. Unless there's another elevator, there might be another level, but I don't think so. Because usually when you get that, like, split, that means there are just 2 more levels. Usually. There is another scientist. Is there anybody up top? No. Okay, so we should be able to come in here. Oh, that is good. We got the double hit in there. There we go. Ah, more misses. Those misses are so expensive on the endurance. Got a clue. So, I have to tell you something. I'm glad you're here. You came when you did. You dismissed Dr. Vajilok himself. He found half of our supply of the serum and left to examine it. His minions would have found the rest in a few minutes. Here, let me give you a shot. You'll be alright soon. So when we come out of there, when we come out of this mission, we should be okay. We just have to find the last scientist. Yeah, when you think about this, this mission is pretty much the way it was at launch. This, with all these yellows, is a brutal mission for newcomers. Right, somebody who's 18th level or something, and all of a sudden, they're facing this disease. They don't know which inspirations are the right inspirations for this particular mission, let alone for their character overall. By the way, you couldn't rest as often as I've been because the rest timer was like twice as long as it is now. They probably hadn't mastered their technique with their character yet. They probably didn't have any DOs. If they had just a few. They didn't, because they didn't have a sugar daddy who was high level sending them influence across the mail, because you couldn't. And so when you think about, trying to do this with mostly training enhancements on these powers and a couple of DOs on the accuracies, if you have training enhancements on them at all, probably you have the trainers. A couple of other ones that maybe you found as you went, like this one here is resistance, so we can put that in here, I guess. So maybe you have a few of those. Some of them are probably getting yellow or nearly red to you, and that's what you had when you faced this thing. And you didn't know how to pull, probably, or any of that. This was a brutal mission. It's incredibly hard. In terms of the way the other missions are scaled up to this point, you can easily see why I was owned repeatedly in this mission back in live. I think I had to go get help. I also think during live, I could swear, now I might be wrong, because there's no way to find out now, but I could swear when it launched, you got this disease and it stuck with you for 2 or 3 missions. Because I feel like I had it and I didn't know how to get rid of it at that point. And I was doing missions with one of my friends and I was like, I don't know how much I can help you because I've got this Vajilok disease. And they didn't know what to do about it. How do you cure it? We didn't know. And just turns out you got to go into the next mission or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. But I could be remembering it wrong. Don't quote me on that, guys. But it was definitely rough. way rougher than this. I mean, this is just mostly paying attention to your endurance and stuff. It was much harder. It wasn't just that. I was just getting pounded. And of course, as a martial arts scrapper, they were resistant to everything I did. Most of them, as you saw, are yellow in this mission, which is very hard for new players to deal with. You have these large spawns, right? And I didn't know about how to pull and stuff, so I was, I was just going in and trying to attack, and just kept getting smacked and face planting. This was a rough mission. I don't think it had this. I'm not sure if it had this lab setting either. It might have been in one of the offices. I'm not really sure. Or this might have been the first lab I ever saw. As I remember, at about this level, it was like 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th level. I got into a lab, and I don't think I'd ever seen it before. And I mentioned over supergroup chat that I was in this new map that I'd never seen before. That was this really cool lab, and nobody else had seen it. And they all came over and got invited into my group, and I brought them in, and they were all running around going, "This is so cool! This is so cool!" because we hadn't seen this map before. It was super fun, but this was really hard. Alright, we're going to just hit this guy with everything. Let's just hit him with everything. And now he should have a hard time hitting me. And by the way, dude, I do the dark better than you do the dark. You think that's dark? Let me show you some dark melee. That's not dark melee. This is dark melee. I love it. I love how awesome this game lets you be. Matt Colville talks in his D&D stream about how one of the most important things you can do as a dungeon master for your players is to let them be awesome. And not try to stop them from being awesome. And I think he's right. I think you don't want it to be too easy. This wasn't easy. This mission was hard. I had to do a lot of pulling. I had to run. I had to rest a lot, right? I had to take a knee. I had to run from some battles. It wasn't easy. But when we were fighting that boss, I still felt awesome. And City of Heroes really got the alchemy right of making the game fun and challenging enough, especially at the lower levels, but still allowing you to feel awesome. And I think they also got the alchemy right as you leveled up, of letting you feel like your character was more and more awesome. Now, they did have the issue, and still do have the issue, that you have to set it all on +2 and +1 and everything, because otherwise it's a little too easy. Maybe they made you a little too awesome, but the difficulty slider does take care of that. And it allows your character to feel like a superhero. I mean, what is it about superheroes that we like so much? It's that they're awesome. Why does anybody want to play superhero? Because superheroes are awesome. You want to play Captain America and just go beat up Hydra and smack the Red Skull around. And that's what's cool about Captain America, right? And so this game kind of lets you, without reference to the Marvel trademarks, lets you do that. You get to fight these zombies and be awesome. You get to fight Dr. Vajalok and be awesome. And it's super fun. I think we can avoid aggroing the other guy from over here, so we don't have to keep running up the ramp. Just pull him over a little bit. And then we'll get out of here, and we will no longer be under the influence of this Vajalok plague. There we go. Alright, boys. Time to feel the power of Quintessence lasts. And that is the mission. Out we go. Wow, that was a whole episode for one mission because of all the pulling. Dr. Vajilok's minions made off with some of the serum. If Dr. Vajilok modifies that virus to resist that drug, we're screwed. I don't know. We might be fighting Dr. Vajilok here, but I'm not going to take this mission until next time. We've moved quite along. We're pretty far up level 19. We're very far along there. So I need to sell enhancements, and I will do that off screen. Until next time, guys, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes on the Rebirth server.